You think Back to the Future was a perfectly planned blockbuster? Think again. Behind the scenes, this movie was a ticking time bomb. A star who was fired 6 weeks into filming, a studio that hated the title, a time machine that was almost a refrigerator, and a shoot so chaotic, it nearly broke Michael J. Fox. This is the story of how one of the most beloved films ever made barely survived long enough to hit 88 miles per hour. And the real reason they fired the original Marty McFly is still debated today. And it's wilder than you heard. Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis wrote Back to the Future after Gale found his father's old high school yearbook and wondered, would we have been friends if we went to school together? Simple idea, giant problem. No studio wanted it. Not Disney. They rejected it for being too incestuous because of the Lorraine-Marty storyline. Not the edgy studios, who said it wasn't edgy enough. It was the script stuck in no man's land. Zemeckis made 2 box office flops in a row, and Hollywood wasn't exactly lining up to gamble on it. Then his friend Steven Spielberg stepped in. Universal finally said yes, but the notes were chaos. Make the title Spaceman from Pluto. Lose the DeLorean. Make the time machine a refrigerator. Add a dog, but take away the dog. Make Doc Brown younger. No, older. No, younger. The studio didn't know what they wanted. They only knew they wanted it cheaper, simpler, and faster. Zemeckis ignored almost all the notes, except one, the biggest mistake of his career and the biggest correction. The studio wanted Eric Stoltz, not Michael J. Fox. Fox was locked into filming Family Ties with a brutal sitcom schedule. NBC wouldn't release him. So Universal cast Stoltz, a serious method actor who treated this comedy like Shakespeare. At first, it seemed fine. Then, not fine. Stoltz wouldn't respond unless people called him Marty. He didn't like the humor. He played everything dark, intense, brooding, like Marty was on the run from the mob. Entire scenes fell flat. Physical comedy didn't work. Even the famous Punch Biff moment looked wrong. After 6 weeks, nearly half the movie film, Zemeckis watched the dailies and broke into a cold sweat. This wasn't Marty McFly. This was the wrong timeline. So he did something unheard of. He fired the lead actor after 6 weeks, reshot every scene, and spent millions the film absolutely did not have. When the studio asked, "Why are you doing this?" Zemeckis said the line that saved the film, "We're failing, and I know how to fix it." They secretly went back to Fox, begged NBC, and arranged a punishing double schedule. Family Ties during the day, Back to the Future all night. 3 hours of sleep, repeat. Michael J. Fox was so exhausted he once filmed the skateboard scenes holding onto a pickup truck while half asleep. But the second he stepped on set, everyone knew this was Marty. The set became a circus, sometimes literally. The clock tower fire. During the iconic lightning strike scene, a misfired effect caused real explosions. Parts of the set caught fire. Crew members ran for extinguishers. Zemeckis reportedly kept rolling. The stunt gone wrong. During the finale, stuntman Clifford Happy was performing the sequence where Marty grabs onto the speeding car. He fell, badly, and was injured enough that production shut down for a day. The whole Libyan terrorist subplot? Universal executives panicked that it was too controversial or offensive and tried to remove it. Zemeckis fought to keep it because the story needed high stakes. Crispin Glover versus everybody. Crispin Glover, who played George McFly, didn't like the film's message. He argued constantly with Zemeckis. He rewrote his own lines, he questioned every scene, he refused to come back for sequels, which led to a lawsuit when the studio used a prosthetic fake Glover in Part 2. The actor who vanishes. Claudia Wells originally played Jennifer. She quit Hollywood after the film because her mother was diagnosed with cancer. In Part 2, she was quietly replaced with Elizabeth Shue. It felt like every day something new went sideways. And yet, the movie looked better and better. But it needed one last miracle. The finale, the lightning strike, the DeLorean, the 88-mile-per-hour sprint, is one of the greatest sequences in movie history. It almost didn't happen. Universal wanted to cut it. Too big, too expensive, too risky. Zemeckis and Gale fought back. They knew this was the moment that justified the entire story. So they shot it anyway. They hid the cost inside other budget lines. Spielberg personally helped protect the sequence from being cut. And the moment Doc Brown screams, "We're going to send you back to the future," became the defining scene of the decade. The movie opened in July 1985. Instead of a modest family comedy, it became the #1 movie of the year. A trilogy, a theme park ride, a cultural icon. All from the film nobody wanted, and the actor they nearly gave up on. So what was the real reason Eric Stoltz was fired? The truth is messy. Yes, he wasn't funny enough. Yes, the tone was wrong. Yes, he clashed with cast members, especially Thomas F. Wilson, who played Biff. But the biggest reason? Zemeckis and Gale realized something terrifying. The movie wasn't broken. Marty McFly was. Stoltz's version made the film darker, slower, and less joyful. Fixing it required a time travel level do-over, and they took it. The result? A movie that still plays today as if it was made last week. Because sometimes the biggest icons of the 80s weren't perfectly built, they were accident saved at the last possible second.